We all know eggs are a good source of protein for growing bodies, but did you know they can bounce?
No, and I really think you're crazy.
Well, watch this. Place the egg in the beaker.
And then add some vinegar. Ooh, I can see bubbles on the shell.
It's called a chemical reaction. The chemical reaction happens between the vinegar, which is an acid, and the shell, which is a calcium carbonate.
We add some colour to make it more interesting. Just watch. Keep watching. It's gone blue.
Oh,
Oh, I have to watch that.
precisely 3 days.
3 days!
Precisely. The shell has completely come off the egg.
And it's gone blue.
Now watch it bounce.
Amazing. It's amazing. I'm so amazed.
So what's going on here? Well, the egg is surrounded by a membrane that protects it.
I've noticed something.
Look at the egg that we started with, and now our blue egg.
Our blue egg is so much bigger. Why is that?
That's because of 2 things. Firstly, the membrane around the egg is semi-permeable. This means it allows water to pass through it. And secondly, because of a process called osmosis.
What on earth is osmosis?
It's when water moves from a lower concentration to a higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane.
What, like the one surrounding the egg?
Yes, just like that.
Osmosis has happened to our egg through the vinegar into the egg.
Inside the egg we have a high concentration of protein and fat. And outside we have a low concentration because the vinegar is mostly water.
So the egg is full of water. What happens if you prick it?
No! No!
Eggs are too yummy to waste with science experiments.
They were caught on camera on the night of February 16th. Mysterious lights had appeared in the sky over the 150 acres that Rainer and Edith Shadows call home in the Compass Bluff area of Jackson County. Were they a phenomenon that's simple to explain, or maybe something else? The couple talked with Doug Walker today about their recent close encounter.
The Shadows never tire of looking at the strange images caught by their trail cameras that clear winter night.
We have unusual things around here that happen, but it's usually associated with our grandchildren. But this case, we didn't know what it was. I was looking for a nice buck to be showing up on the trail camera, actually.
7:24, deer appear and all is normal. 7:29, a dim light appears. 7:35, it gets brighter. 7:53, a weird shape appears on the camera. The deer are lit up brightly. But how? The cameras are infrared and don't emit light. 7:56, another sharper light appears. Then it gets much closer, seemingly focused on the deer. It looks like headlights, but well off the ground and there's no road. Then it flies away. Rainer takes me to the site deep in the woods. These are the trees where the object appeared.
Well, first I was trying to see if there was something, a reason for what we were seeing, but the more we looked at it, the more we realized it was something that was in the air. It was something that I'd never seen before.
Reaction from friends is what you would expect.
Well, actually, they're all just like we were. They're like, what? What is that? Hey, let me look at that again.
Another deer is seen looking at a light that seemingly comes from nowhere.
Well, now whether it's alien, I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely it's UFO. Now, whether it's a government drone or what, I wish if nothing else, one of them would step up and say, yeah, that's ours.
While Rainer and Edith admit they are wondering what this object was, would like to find out, are enlisting the help of friends to try to solve the mystery, they also say it's been quite a bit of fun.
It's a puzzle. It might not be solved, and this one that's, kind of fun. It adds a little flavor to life, I guess you could say.
Flavor and another ingredient tossed in as well.
We just was fascinated over it because of the fact it was right here, and it's real.
In Jackson County, Doug Walker, WLOX News.
And despite the mystery surrounding the lights, the Shadows say they aren't really concerned about their safety and still enjoy the peace and solitude. of Living on the Country. Stay with us.
Hi,
Your
everyone.
extended
On May 28th in Louisiana, there was a massive flooding that took place down there with a lot of rain going on in Belle Rose. Well, a lot of people were going on about this because the flooding caused the caskets to come up from the graves, and they ended up being floating around as if it was the day that the dead rose all through here. Well, on my channel, I show the spiritual side of things from all around the world. And here at the end of the age, as we're nearing the day of the Lord coming, God had said that He would show us everything, even signs all over the earth, just as with Google Earth that we have now with satellite imagery all over the place. And we're going to show something about this right here, because this has a lot to do with an area that I have mapped out a few years ago, right down near Belle Rose. Because this area is known about this Bayou Corn sinkhole that has been going on for a few years now, where it just keeps growing, and it's right beside Belle Rose. We're going to show this. We're going to even show how this event, one of the reasons I think that this event is a spiritual thing is, and that, like I say, on my channel I show how the spirits are running everything. The human being is a host. A spirit can use you. If you don't have the Holy Ghost with you, any spirit can use you. You're an open door. That is what a human being is. The spirit is immortal. The human body is not. Well, at the same time, when this is happening, we have Maleficent or Maleficent coming out, which shows the dragon coming to destroy most of the world as the woman. And she comes, see Angelina Jolie, I mean the premiere to this just happened, and she comes with this apple to deceive mankind. This is actually in the Bible. It comes and it replaces the communion or the host Eucharist, the breaking of bread as Jesus did at the Passover Seder when He passed the bread and said, "Do this in remembrance of me." And this replaces Jesus Christ, basically. A new type of deception comes across the earth. All right here. And supposedly in the Bible, this is when the dead will rise. Well, this is all mapped out right here. Here is Belle Rose. Right here. Right about here is where the sinkhole is. Right here is Maleficent doing the mark of the beast, the dragon. Right in front of you, right now. There she is, or he is, the dragon. See right here? And they're putting the mark of the beast on this man right there. You can see this. I've been mapping out this stuff for years. Belle Rose, where the dead rose, right there. See this? This is like the ringing of the bell coming. That all of these signs are right in front of us. We just had the release of the movie. We had this happen right here beside here. Here she is. See the horns of her? See her horns? And she is a dragon right there. Evil, just as they said in the movie. It's even in this glyph, which shows right here this entity coming down with the key to open the abyss. And you can see right here the New Seed Eucharist. See the people, it's going to blend humanity, putting everybody to sleep basically, just like in that movie. And then they're doing the mark of the beast, all in this glyph. Right up here, a man has a check mark on his head. This is also the time of the rapture. You can see this phoenix leaves. And this is not just a small event. This means like Russia rises up, China, North Korea. That's what's coming with the dragon. The dragon represents China and the billion-man army practically coming. There she is. Your own town and neighborhood maps these things out. Look at her right here. You can even see her third eye open right there. There she is. There's more to this. When you turn this around, it shows her coming with the apple. You can't fake these things I'm showing you, let alone the story part. It's one thing to pull one image out of somewhere, but to go ahead and do this and then to actually show you the the poison apple. I mean, this is astounding. There it is. And it has a thing about blending.
Oh, great, I'm a floating ghost head. Oh, ghost hands. Well, you can see these anyway. Hello. Hello. Boop.
I got the idea from watching a television special on the history of the Jews in America. I'm watching the show, and there's, you know, the usual stuff about the Jewish population and how it came here and so forth. And all of a sudden, there's an old photograph of a group of American Indians and a young man up in the corner. He's got curly hair and a mustache, certainly doesn't look like an Indian. And the voiceover says, "This is Julius Meyer, a Jewish immigrant who came to the United States after the Civil War, and he ended up being the interpreter for many of the famous Indian chiefs of the late 19th century." I couldn't believe my ears. I said, I got to find out more about this guy. And I started to research him, and I found out that not only did he speak 6 or 7 different Indian dialects and was friends with many of the famous Indians and Indian chiefs of the period, but he also died under incredibly mysterious circumstances, which made him even more interesting. He was found dead in Hanscom Park in Omaha, Nebraska in 1909 with 2 bullets in him and declared a suicide. I said, how is that possible? So the combination of his story, the fact that he was an important Indian trader, an important person in Omaha, the fact that he was a friend to the native population, and the circumstances of his death made me think that he'd be an incredible subject for a book. Alexander Herman, at the time, was the most famous magician in America, and he was the most famous magician in America before Houdini. The reason I decided to include Alexander in it was because of an actual true incident that occurred between Alexander and Julius Meyer. Alexander actually went to a Ponca Indian camp under the auspices of Julius Meyer and performed a show for the Indians there. And of course they were amazed. And that night when Alexander went to sleep, there was an attempt on his life. One of the Indians decided that his hat was magical and tried to kill him for it. He was saved just in time. So when I was doing the research and I found out about that incident, I said, that's incredible. I've got to include this person in the book. And one of the things I said to myself, well, how would Julius know Alexander? And I did some more research and found out